Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nerd Degree! Thank you. All right, welcome to the Nerd Degree. I'm your host, Brendan Bennett, and tonight's theme, magic. Well, it's a kind of magic. Tonight I am joined by two teams of nerds who aim to prove that any reference sufficiently obscure is indistinguishable from intelligence. It's time for us to meet our team members, and I'd like you to tell me, if you could cast a magic spell, what spell would you cast? Starting with Scott.
Hi there, my name's Scott. I'm a writer, social media operator, and father. And as a father, I think my answer is very simple. I would have the ability to cast a spell that goes like this. Sleep.
Thought you were going to say, I could cast a smell. I think we mostly have that ability. Andrew.
Hello there, my name is Andrew, and I am...
Sorry, did I spoiler that?
If I could cast a magic spell, I would cast a spell that would make animals want to be patted. Because, like, cats and dogs obviously like to be patted, but, like, you know, you always want to pat, like, wild animals, like tigers and lions and stuff. But, like, they don't like pats. They like eats. And I would just like to be able to go up and, like, give them a little pat.
Are you speaking from first-hand experience? I guess it wouldn't be first-hand.
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
All right, so together, what team are you going to be?
Together, we are Positive Selfie Mages.
Positive Selfie Mages, everyone. And opposing them tonight, we have...
Hi, I'm Karen, and I am a very mild-mannered person most of the time, but if I could cast a spell, it would be called Eternal Flame, and all of my enemies would burn forever.
You know, the song is much more kind of romantic than
I know.
that.
I don't get it.
All right, my name is Jeff Clark, and as a long-time Dungeons & Dragons player, I have to support the spell Mage Hand, which is the ability to create a spectral hand that can lift up to 5 pounds, which is only the weight of half a baby, but I feel...
Why are you lifting half a baby, Jeff?
No, the weight of half a baby, like the top end, maybe.
But why would you pick that?
If you want to keep its head above water, because anyway, we're getting off traffic. I have always been thwarted in any Dungeons & Dragons game I've played from using Mage Hand in a useful fashion, but I feel that low-level telekinesis is a mighty power. You think about it. You could just constrict the blood vessels in someone's jugular vein and kill people instantly. You could lift a key to get out of a cell. You could you could make people trip on their shoelaces and then laugh at them.
Jeff, this is why I don't let you play a wizard in our campaign.
Right.
All right.
Team Psychopath.
Yeah.
And together you are...
We are Team Sufficiently Advanced Technology.
Team Sufficiently Advanced Technology. Great. Okay, we are also lucky enough to be joined by Ben Allen in the box. Ben, are you there?
Fools! Who dares to enter the realm of magic without sufficient training? Only a fully 7th Dan wizard such as myself dare stroll the path of the musical spheres. I've got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, I turn it into gold.
Thank you, Ben. Ben will be keeping track of the scores, hopefully. Okay, it's time for us to start. Teams, I'd like you to roll for initiative.
We've got 10.
10.
We have less than 10.
All right, Positive Selfie Mage, you go first in this round, which is Magic News. What 4 new schools are spreading that magic feeling?
They're schools of magic that...
The Harry Potter world.
Yeah, in the Harry Potter world that are in North America, Africa, Japan and the other one.
Brazil.
Brazil.
I'll give you points for that.
Jungle,
Extra points if you can tell me the names of any of them.
I cannot tell you the names whatsoever, but they could be.
One of them, Oogadu is the African one.
Yep.
Wagadoo.
Nilvargsnov. Mountain. And
Uncanny.
The Japanese one is on the island of Iwo Jima, and I hear that Clint Eastwood's going to be directing a film based on the... No. The one that...
you mean Wands of Iwo Jima?
Wands of Iwo Jima. It's going to be a modern classic. The one in Brazil was like Castelabrumbra.
Yep. Castelobro show.
Yeah. Lowbro show.
Welcome to the Lowbro show.
Okay, so just to backtrack, I'll give you a point if you can name the pre-existing magic schools in the Harry Potter world.
Oh, yeah. Durmstrang, Beauxbaton, and Hogwarts.
All right, correct. So we've got Wagadu, which is the school located in the Mountains of the Moon. We've got Castelobro show in Brazil. In North America, we have Ilvermorny, which is where the upcoming film is going to be set, or around there. And in Japan, we have Maho Tokoro. Magic Place.
Magic
Place.
Yes.
I would have liked My Neighbor Totoro.
J.K. Rowling once again showing that you don't need creativity if you've got Google Translate.
I would just also like to point out that Africa is a really big continent, not a country. Like it's huge.
Well,
She has specified it's in Uganda.
Right,
Yeah, and there
Uganda
are-
also huge, like way bigger than England.
Yeah, but she's also extended on that and said that there are a number of
There's 4
magic
more
schools.
unnamed schools.
Yeah, around the African continent, but that's the major one.
And will they reveal like one per season until we get to the end, and then there's like, and then
hope
it
so.
turns out there were angels? Never mind.
And they'll just keep releasing schools every 2 years forever to keep them franchise
No,
going.
they'll slowly close down the 11 official schools and replace them with charter magical schools.
Right, yeah.
You get vouchers, so you can.
Yeah, as if there wasn't enough oversight in Hogwarts as it is.
How does zoning work in the magical world?
Yeah.
Let's really get down to the nitty gritty.
Continent based.
What's sort of the
like,
oversight
that's a hell
system?
of a-
Like, if there's only one magic school in England, that's
Who's
really...
setting the curriculum?
Yeah,
These are great questions.
yeah.
So I have a couple of things here. Can you tell me what these are?
Those are the Latin versions of Harry Potter.
Yep. So this is Harrius Potter et Camera Secretorum.
The Chamber of Secrets.
Yes, the Chamber of Secrets.
Did you translate that?
Yes, I did.
Just like that. Amazing. What about this one?
Oh, that's the Welsh one.
Close. This is
Elvish?
the Irish translation. There is currently no Elvish translation of Harry Potter. There actually is a big sticker that says Irish language version on it.
That's just protracted elf racism going on. I thought the books addressed that.
So this brings us to our spin-off round, Pots and Translation.
Ooh.
So first of all, so we have this Latin translation of Harry Potter. What is one of the problems that might arise if you were translating Harry Potter into Latin? Karen.
A lot of the spell names come from Latin. So suddenly words that seemed magical and mysterious will now be things like open.
Yeah. So pretty much
Expect some help.
instead of saying like Wingardium Leviosa, it's like floaty floaty. In fact, all of the translators have had quite serious issues raised by the text. For example, what is Voldemort's middle name in French?
Oh, yeah.
Does my name English?
In English? Okay, I'll give you a point for that if you can. What is Tom Riddle's middle name?
Marvelo.
Yes. Now, of course, that is an anagram of I am Voldemort.
Yes.
But since in French it would be Je suis Voldemort.
Is his middle name Jesus?
Jesus.
I'm anagram Je suis Voldemort. Je suis. So Jesus would be if you were making an anagram name.
That's not bad, but that's
Okay.
not right because some of the letters aren't coming from there.
Okay.
His middle name is Elvis. His full name is Tom Elvis Judusaur, which is an anagram of Je suis Voldemort.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Elvis is fantastic. It actually adds to the character now.
The king of
Yeah,
dark
I
magic.
mean, no wonder he was so resentful.
And so all the Death Eaters are just like Elvis impersonators.
Yeah.
Points for that. Okay, let's just really dive deep on Harry Potter right now. Then we'll
Give
move
me
on.
the gillyweed.
Okay, point for that. Yeah! Philosopher's Stone was released in 1997, but a magical film referred to Hogwarts in 1986, 10 years before. What was it?
Was it the Australian horror film Razorback about a giant pig that attacks a town in the outback?
And they were like, "There's an enormous warthog." No, I mean Hogwarts.
No, they'd be like, look at the Hogwarts on that.
That is not correct. A magical film from 1986 would be the clue.
Is it Labyrinth?
It is Labyrinth.
And it was the school that Hoggle went to get the warts on his nose from?
Yeah, you've got so many parts of this. Twice in the movie Labyrinth, Hoggle is misnamed as Hogwart.
Oh, but that's an insult. That's Jareth having a go at him, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but
So within the film there are two Hogwarts.
you got it.
So it took me a while, but I got there in the end, and that's what counts.
Okay, let's talk text revisions. In the first edition of Philosopher's Stone, Hagrid complained, "Dragon liver, 17 sickles an ounce. They're mad." In the second edition, a year later, it was changed to 16 sickles an ounce. Why on earth was it changed?
Oh, because the price went down due to an oversupply of dragon livers. Like, you know, after the book came out, everyone thought, oh, let's put all our money into the dragon industry. And so they converted a whole bunch of land into dragon land, which ruined the environment. But that doesn't matter because they were funding it by the government. And so that's fine. But then the oversaturation of dragon livers meant that on the national auctions, the price went down, which really buggered the dragon farmers. But the government's not going to do anything about it. So that's what happened.
No, that's not the correct
It's all
answer.
politics.
Any ideas? It's to do with the exchange rate.
Is it because it's easier to divide 6 into 16? It just is. I mean,
So let's talk about that in a moment. The reason is that 17 sickles equals 1 galleon, which is the larger currency. So if you said 17 sickles an ounce,
1 gallon an ounce.
Exactly. So 17 sickles in a galleon. How many nuts in a sickle?
32.
Nope.
Damn.
29.
Damn.
That's close. Both prime numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. No.
No, I find it interesting.
Okay. Here's another thing that had to be revised. Near the end of the book, Ron says, "Well, Harry, you take the place of that bishop, and Hermione, you go next to him instead of the castle." Why did that have to be changed?
Ooh.
Jeff, for putting your hand up?
Because in chess, it's the knight that goes next to the bishop, not the castle.
Correct.
Yes.
And speaking of knights, who are the Knights of Walpurgis?
The Knights of Walpurgis.
There's some dudes.
Yeah, yes. That's what I was looking for, some dudes.
Are they a band that was rejected for the Spring Fling?
No.
Are they Jarvis Cocker's band in the fourth film?
No, that's a different one.
Yeah.
That's an actual one.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Is
Not
it the Weird Sisters? or
Yes,
something?
the
Weird
Weird
Sisters.
Oh,
Sisters.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
No,
the
the Knights of Walpurgis was the original name J.K. Rowling had for the Death Eaters.
Death Eaters is much better.
It would have been a lot less
They call
intimidating.
themselves the Knights of Walpurgis.
Yeah.
Everyone else calls them Death Eaters because it sounds nasty.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes in first drafts like how the Dark Side of the Force was originally called the Bogan.
That's right.
There was a bit of a food theme to retain, though.
And now it's Knights of Ren. So
yeah.
One last Harry Potter question. What is hat stall?
Is it where the sorting hat goes at the end of every sorting ceremony?
Reasonable guess.
Is it when the sorting hat's sitting there and can't quite decide which house to put the shot into, so he's kind of going, yeah, like that.
That's actually correct. Yes. Hat stall is when the sorting hat takes more than 5 minutes to sort someone.
why don't you call it hat stall?
Do you have to turn the hat off and then on again to restart?
Famous hat stalls. Professor McGonagall.
Yep.
And Professor Flitwick.
Yep.
Yeah, so there you go. That brings us to the end of our
Hey, if McGonagall wasn't in Gryffindor, what would she be? Ravenclaw?
Ravenclaw and Flitwick, the reverse. There you go. I read too much about it. That brings us to the end of our Harry Potter round. Ben.
By Merlin's beard, both teams seek to meddle with occult forces they cannot possibly comprehend. If they should continue with this dark meddling, the earth will soon be overrun by horrors, the likes of which have never been seen in centuries. That said, both teams are on 5 points.
A round of applause for both teams. Bonus round. I will give points to any team that can perform a magic trick.
All right.
Oh no.
Pay no attention to the disbeliever. He has not seen true magic. I shall stand so that those at the back can fully appreciate the majesty
Camera's
of this...
panicking. No, sit down.
Oh, I will sit down so that the camera can fully appreciate this majesty, the majesty of this trick. Yes, that camera there. I shall do it to them. People at the side, don't give it away. You see before you an ordinary thumb. It wiggles normally as a normal thumb would, but behold now as I take said thumb and sever it, and pull it off, and wiggle it here, and then place it back, and it is all healed. Kids, don't try this at home. I'm a trained professional.
Jeff, I asked you to perform a magic trick, not destroy the very fabric of reality itself. Amazing! 1 bonus point.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Before me, I have a smartphone. It is an object that can talk to people on the other side of the world and take selfies. Behold, it's indistinguishable from magic.
That's our joke.
Boo. All right, that brings us to our next round. Our next round is Bag of Withholding. This I've been researching some of the famous magical items found in the fantasy game Dungeons & Dragons. I'm going to tell you what the item is called. You will tell me what it does for points.
Goodness.
These are the worst magical items. Bountiful Spade.
Every time you stick it in the dirt, it gives you carrots.
That would be great.
It allows you to de-sex a large number of animals all at once.
I'll give you a point for that.
When you dig with it, the amount of dirt that you can put onto the ground is like twice what you actually dig out of the ground.
So like doubles the...
So yeah,
dirt.
yeah.
That's probably the closest.
Instead of leaving your enemies to rot on the battlefield and destroy the water table, you just wave the spade over them and they're buried.
Oh, that'd be nice.
It digs twice as fast, so you can dig a 10 by 10 square much faster.
It's a really big collection of mystery novels.
Oh, you are irresistible to the ladies.
Okay.
Bountiful Spade.
Can I tell you? Okay.
Go on.
Here is the official description. Characters who use the enchanted farm implement to turn over the earth prior to planting a field receive a +3 bonus to their agriculture proficiency. Ooh. For the rest of the year.
Whoa!
Okay,
That is bountiful.
I know. I mean, anyone who's played D&D will know. You're using that agricultural proficiency check a lot.
Yeah.
I would just like to infer from this wonderful thing that there are people who are like role-playing fantasy farms.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well, the popularity of Farmville kind of suggests that people are into that.
Next one. Ring of bureaucratic wizardry.
You could actually make things happen in a political situation.
It makes you invisible during wizarding meetings.
No?
It will influence people to vote your way.
It's the only defence against the binding of red tape.
That's close. So what happens is if you try and cast a spell while wearing the ring, a sheaf of papers and a quill pen suddenly appear in your hand. The papers are forms that you must fill out in triplicate, explaining the effects of the spell that you want and why you wish to cast it, whether it is for business or pleasure, and so on. You have to fill out the forms before the spell will occur.
That is the worst spell.
That's
Wow.
I love it.
Bowl of watery death.
It's for your neighbour's cat.
It's the finger bowl, a finger bowl on a Texan family table at the end of a barbecue meal.
So, yes.
If you take the bowl of watery death, it's a normal sized bowl, and then you hold it up so that you can see a person through it, and then when you hold it up and you see them, they suddenly drown. And then when you put it down, their lungs are filled with water.
That would be quite awesome. It's the opposite of that. Anyone who puts water in the bowl gets shrunk to the size of a small ant and falls into the bowl.
Yeah!
Wow.
That's amazing!
It's not real, Andrew. Okay.
The brooch of number numbing.
Lets you sit through a maths test.
When you put on the brooch, you immediately lose the ability to count or do any sort of maths.
Yeah, close. People who look at the brooch forget numbers. That is all it does.
That's actually really good when you're doing like a negotiation to buy stuff.
All right, we'll work into the campaign.
Yeah.
But not that ring. That sounds horrible.
We'll see. Robe of vermin. Andrew.
It's a mechanical rat.
Not robot vermin. Robe of vermin.
You put on the robe and you're attacked by mice.
Correct. It seems like a normal robe, but as soon as you enter combat, unseen rats will start biting you over your entire body.
I once put on a robe of vermin. Like, it was more sort of midgets. It had been in the garage for a long time.
All right, finally, horn of baubles.
Can we do that in a family show?
Horn of baubles.
It's what you use when you want to start a new La Visa store. Yeah, ladies get it.
Okay.
You blow the horn and baubles appear.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. When you blow the horn, useless trinkets will pour out of the horn. But the special feature is any time you blow the horn, there's a 10% chance that the blow will be sucked into the mouth of the horn and transformed into the previously mentioned useless trinkets. So those are some real magical items. Any suggestions on any other magical items that should be added?
I've long been intrigued by the possibility of the ring of shift left. So what happens is if one of the player characters puts it on, then all the players at the table, including the dungeon master, must move one space left and switch characters. So I would become Karen's character. Karen would become the dungeon master for Brendan. Brendan would become Andrew's character. Andrew would become Scott's character, and Scott would become my character. So everyone switches roles, which is a really meta Dungeons and Dragons joke.
Can we go the other way? I don't want to play Scott's character.
No. I would like the ring of Control Z for all those moments in my life where I just want to undo it one step.
Any other?
How about the keyboard of fact checking? When you cast it upon an opponent's keyboard, it means it won't allow them to post some shitty link to some dodgy website on their Facebook feed until it's been thoroughly fact checked.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Wand of stereotypes. So this is a wand that when you cast it at another any race, they must immediately default to the most popular stereotype. So if you encounter, for instance, a dwarven rogue, they would immediately adopt a thick Scottish accent and only become good at hitting things with an axe. If you cast it at an elf, regardless of whether or not the elf was a fantastic fighter, they would suddenly become effeminate and grow long blonde hair. Another name for it would be the Wand of Racism.
Where that's happened. Yeah.
The other name would be Wand of Racism.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to the end of the bag of withholding round. Ben, the scores.
By Gandalf's trousers! Can you not feel the sensation of creeping malevolence and strange exhilaration at the farthest corners of your soul? Oh, it's magic, you know. Never believe it's not so. The scores. A sufficiently advanced technology on 12 points, and positive self-images on 8 points.
All right, sufficiently advanced. Do we have any sponsors?
By Raymond Feist's ego! Does this look like a commercial operation to you? This is the ethereal power of eternity. That said, we do have an advertising break if you'd like to
Yes, please.
To have one. Gentlemen, sick of the world not knowing just what you're packing down there? That's why you need the Goblin King's range of new culottes, jeans, cargo pants, and jeggings. Pants. Magic pants.
That leads us perfectly into our next round, which is facts, magic facts. Now I have some questions about some real-life magicians, or the closest thing that we have. So, Selfie Mage, what can you tell me about Eric Weiss?
When he was born, his parents did two things. One was they named him Eric, and the other is that they sold him to a tribe of goblins who raised him to be a magician.
Sufficiently advanced. He changed his name later in life. He adopted a stage name.
Is it David Copperfield?
Earlier.
Earlier.
Houdini?
Harry Houdini. Yes. Where did he get his name from?
He read about it.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have TV, so I think
So he named himself after a magician that he admired, Jean-Eugene Robert Houdin. But he added an I to the end to show that he was a bit like Houdin. He was a bit Houdini.
Did Houdin get his name from Hoodoo?
From?
Like the
Hodor.
They've just added a letter.
Yeah.
So-
No. I mean like the sort of offshoot of the syncretic.
That's a
religion.
reasonable guess. I actually know that he got it was his wife's name. He just double barreled it.
So is he like the first instance of someone adding an I to something and then making it seem incredibly better? Like the iPhone, the iWatch, Houdin I. Let's cut this joke.
Post-production.
Yeah.
How did Houdini die? Don't put your hands
Okay,
up.
fine. Ding. They can't see that on the podcast. He challenged someone to punch him in the stomach.
No, that's incorrect. That's the label. What it actually was is a man came up to him and said, "Is it true that you can be punched in the stomach and you'll be fine?" Which is true if Houdini had the time to brace his stomach muscles because he was very strong from all of his breath holding stuff. And he said, "Yeah, that's true." And then the guy just belted him one, and then I think it was his liver collapsed.
You were right to correct Jeff, but I must correct you as well. So I'm referring now to stampsofdistinction.com, where I found this information. Houdini did not die due to a punch in the stomach. So he was being punched in the stomach repeatedly by a Canadian college student who was trying to test Houdini's self-professed ability to take a punch. While he was delivering these punches, the magician staggered back with pain. He was taken to hospital and treated for a ruptured appendix. However, he already had an inflamed appendix and the rupture was not caused by the punches. So this shows that what a badass he was, that he experienced massive abdominal pain while being repeatedly punched in the stomach, but the two things were not connected in any way.
Wow.
What did Sir Arthur Conan Doyle think Houdini could do?
Survive death from beyond? Didn't he conduct a séance to? Didn't they have an agreement that the one who died maybe?
Definitely wasn't an agreement. So Houdini spent a lot of his time debunking mediums, mystics, and magicians. But despite this, Conan Doyle was convinced that Houdini could communicate with the dead.
Did they have a wager?
That he would communicate with him when he died.
Yeah, and that
it'd be good. You'd never have to pay that one out.
Would give him his secrets from beyond the grave, and Arthur Conan Doyle could continue his work.
Yeah, no.
But Arthur Conan Doyle was pretty oblivious. This is a guy who believed in the first Photoshop scandal.
Yeah, the fairies.
The fairies.
Yes.
Yeah. 8-year-olds cut out fairies from books and stuck them in photos and went, we talked to fairies. And he went, that's definitely true. This is the guy who came up with Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, yes. Despite Houdini's repeated claims that he couldn't speak to the dead, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was convinced that he could. And one extra fact about Houdini, his assistants, one of their main jobs was to chloroform any overly eager punters who came backstage and leave them lying unconscious elsewhere.
That's amazing.
We have the same policy here at Orange Studios.
That job.
Yeah. What do you do for a living? Chloroform people.
Yeah, it's like if you're traveling internationally and you've got to fill out the form. It's like what your job is. It's like chloroform. Oh, fucking run out of letters.
Okay. Question about another magician. This time, Aleister Crowley. He claims to have invented an enduring symbol related to Winston Churchill. What was that?
Is it the devil's horns pentagrammy thing?
Pentagram. That Winston Churchill famously had tattooed on his chest.
Hey, Winston Churchill's mother had tattoos. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, no, I don't know.
No, it was a gesture. Can anyone demonstrate it?
Oh, devil
The
horns,
devil.
yeah.
Winston Churchill, again, famous for the devil horns.
Is it the peace sign? Or V for victory?
The V for victory sign. Yes, correct. It was supposedly a powerful magical sign that Aleister Crowley invented to fight against the power of the swastika.
It's not that special though, right? Because I mean, it's just holding two fingers up.
I don't know. No, this beats paper.
What is that? You don't hold scissors that way.
All right, that brings us to the end of Facts, Magic Facts.
I think we're doomed, Scott.
Ben, the scores.
Turn Back, Neophytes 4 by David Copperfield's appearance fee. Without the proper study, you will succumb to magic's seductive embrace and never disentangle yourself from its terrible gimlet flap, which is a technical term that you would know if you had done the proper study. Doom be upon us all, and especially for positive selfie mages who are behind 12 points to 14.
A round of applause for Sufficiently Advanced. Sorry, guys, you should have done a magic trick. Okay, I'm going to list off a series of things. Ring in if you can tell me what category they belong to. I'm going to list off a series of things.
Okay.
And then you will say, so if I said apple, banana, pear, you would say
fruit.
Yeah. But it's not that because that's too... Anyway, here it is. Fruity Pebbles. Cephalid Breakfast. Death and Taxes. Dragon Stompy.
Are these cereals?
No.
Oh.
Thopter Depths. Splinter Twin. Birthing Pod.
Dances.
If you can show me what cephalid breakfast looks like, I might give you a point.
It's like when you're eating your brains out of your skull for breakfast.
Birthing Pod, Flash Hulk, Dredge, Marnolus Dredge, The Deck. That's all of the. Oh, that's everything I have.
Are they Doctor Strange's magical villains?
No.
Are they colours of paint?
Probably.
We just did our living room in Death and Taxes. These are all names of... Oh, actually, does anyone in the audience know? Yes?
Not for Magic the Gathering.
Yes, you're right. So in the trading card game Magic the Gathering, when people construct decks, they give them nicknames, and these are all nicknames for Magic the Gathering decks. I called on my Magic the Gathering expert, Paul Johnson, to provide this list. He was going to be here, but he's actually running a Magic tournament right now, just to prove his bona fides. If you are interested in Magic the Gathering, go along to the Wizards Retreat. Look them up on Facebook. There's your plug, Paul. Okay. So that brings us to the next round, which is, of course, Bad for Your Elf. In the Bad for Your Elf round, one of these teams will be given a list of things. In this case, legendary creatures from Magic the Gathering. You will have to read out names from this list or create fake ones. It will be up to the other team to guess whether they are real or fake.
Okay.
Positive Selfie Mage, you're behind. Would you like to bluff or guess?
He's just going. Shoo.
It's a hat store. I know.
We'll bluff.
Okay, so I'm giving you now a list of Magic the Gathering legendary creatures. So to give you a couple of examples, a legendary creature might be called Aboshan, Cephalid Emperor, or Argus Kos, Wojek Veteran, or Alhameret, High Arbiter. So that's the kind of thing that you're looking for. So when you're ready, just read one out and you guys tell me whether it's real or fake. If you guys manage to fool them, you get a point. If you call them out, you get a point.
Timoret, the Murder King.
Fake.
It's real.
Dang.
Yep, there's a murder king. Next one.
Incuba, maker of dreams.
No, I think it's fake.
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 It is fake.
Elish Norn, Grand Cenobite.
Now the Cenobites are the dudes from the Pinhead,
Pinhead
movies.
series, yeah.
But also
Magic the Gathering fans are also fans of Hellraiser, which
True.
means it could be true.
It is true.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's pick up the pace, guys. Come on.
Joel Ryle, Empress of Beasts.
True.
It is real.
Falkush, Lord of Cinder.
Yeah, say true.
True.
It's fake.
Good one.
Nice one.
Albert Mackenzie.
You dick. because it's so wrong that it could be true.
Is it just Albert Mackenzie? There's
doesn't have a
no
title?
honorific or anything like
No
that?
title.
No, okay.
Doesn't need one.
It would be plausible if it was Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah. No, false.
False.
See, I'm gonna have to say that's real. I don't know if you misread it. There is a legendary creature called Angus Mackenzie.
Angus Mackenzie.
So I'm not gonna accept this crap about Albert Mackenzie.
Yeah, Albert doesn't fight. Angus.
So
Albert stays at home, looks after the
after the
farm.
kids.
I'm giving
He's
He's got his
sufficiently
magical
advanced the point
spade
for
that added
that.
+3 to his agriculture score for a whole year. He's at home, and Angus is out adventuring. Albert's just stuck on the farm.
If you're gonna make them up,
Sad
make them
story
up
of
for
a
real.
modern marriage.
Yeah.
All right, give me two more.
Brack Beast of the Wild Winds.
You wouldn't really have a beast of the wild winds, would you?
I feel like you'd have it like a spirit of the wild ones.
Yeah.
Fake.
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 It's fake.
Yes.
Last one.
Drana, Liberator of Malakir.
True.
Sounds true-ish.
True-ish.
True it. Okay, we'll say true.
We'll go true.
It is a real one.
All true.
Okay, I think you guys took it away there. Let's go to Ben for the scores.
Oh dear.
By Dumbledore's death-inspired recasting!
Oh, too soon.
Despite my warnings, you stand upon the precipice of a headlong plunge into the black realm of chaos. You must be especially careful of the one they call Karen, whose thaumaturgic emanations are the strongest. Every little thing she does is magic. The scores, if you will not turn back now, are sufficiently advanced technology on 18 and positive self-images on 16.
Sufficiently advanced.
I don't feel that we're sufficiently advanced. It's only a 2-point lead,
Yeah.
but they could still take it away.
Insufficiently advanced. Shall
Yeah.
we rename
We're
it?
insufficiently advanced technology.
We move now to the final round of the competition. Ben, do we have a sponsor for this round?
We do have a sponsor, Brendan. Why not exercise your upper lip so that you can execute the perfect sneer? Sign up today for Snape Fitness.
The final round is the nerd debate round. So I will give you a topic and you will debate, and then the audience will decide who made the more convincing case. So, positive self-image, you are behind. So I will give you the choice on whether you affirm or negate. The topic is magic would be a benefit to society. Would you like to affirm or negate?
What do you think, Scott?
I'm going to choose for you if you
I
don't.
think
Affirm.
we'll affirm. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll affirm.
All right.
Affirm.
That means sufficiently advanced. You will be negating. So, the topic is magic will be a benefit to society. I'll give you 90 seconds each to speak, 30 seconds to respond, and closing statements. Then the audience will decide. Positive self-image, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world is a dark place, full of horrors and problems that we can't, in our humanity, our meek humanity, solve. Our mortal shells are not well enough equipped to make this world a better place as it is. But there is one thing which can help us.
That's right. Magic.
Magic.
You see, we have problems that some of which we have caused in our world, that we are now at the point where we cannot do anything about them.
Donald Trump, for instance.
Things like global warming. We just, even if we start now and do everything right, we're still fucked. But the one thing that can save us is magic. Because you see, magic is not bound by technological constraints or the laws of physics.
That's right. With magic, you could dig twice as fast and bury all that carbon in the ground.
With magic, you could dig twice as fast and bury Donald Trump in the ground.
With magic, you could blow your horn and release baubles of chemicals into the air to suck up all the ozone and... No! But you could do that. But you wouldn't want to, ladies and gentlemen. Unless you were nefarious and evil. But no, we are not nefarious and evil people. We want to save this world.
That's
And
right.
only
I
magic
think
can help us.
if there's one thing everyone can agree with, it's that they want to save the world. And what better to save the world than magic?
All right, thank you. And your response?
Well, this is some waffling and non-specific blue magic will come and save us all. No. We have sufficient case studies to prove that magic is a terrible force in the world. Let's have a look at that childhood classic, Harry Potter. Wonderful, isn't it? 11-year-olds go off to places where they're tortured and wander around enchanted corridors at night, chased by giant snakes. And their detention is in a dark forest with man-eating spiders, and they don't learn maths.
I'd also like to cast your attention to a certain storyline in the Harry Potter universe about a charismatic leader who uses xenophobia and fear of impure bloods to rise to power.
Donald Trump is a dark wizard.
Magic has a cost. It is always either a physical cost in the case of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer universe, in which it takes a toll on the magic user and can corrupt them, or in the Harry Potter universe where you need certain chemicals or a wand. Unicorns and phoenixes would rapidly become hunted to the point of extinction, and magical herbs would be plucked from the ground and eventually deforested. It is clearly dangerous if magic were in the world, and also my most basic point is the ability to cast magic spells in the general population would be a catastrophe. Anyone who has seen the comment thread of a YouTube video knows that people are basically evil.
Imagine a world where every big sister forced into babysitting could say, I wish the goblins really would come and take you away.
All
and
right.
They would.
Thank you, Sufficiently Advanced. You have 30 seconds to respond.
Ladies and gentlemen, magic doesn't kill people. People kill people.
I think it's pretty clear that anything can be used for nefarious means. Would you say that technology should be abolished because some people can use it for ill? Would you say that are you going to cut off my hands because I could use them to punch you?
That's right. You see, if you look at Harry Potter and other fantasy narratives, count the death toll. Magicians you can count in one hand, but the muggles of the world, they die in their droves. But if they had magic, they could defend themselves. Everyone needs magic to defend against magic. Then we would all survive and make a better world. They are advocating that.
Just when you're ready, Scott.
Oh, we done.
What they're advocating is because some people might do some horrible things, that we should remove even the possibility of experiencing actual magic. Actual magic, people.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you guys.
All right, when you're stealing your policy points from the NRA, maybe you should take a step back and think to yourself, should I really allow something in the world that will allow the haves and the have-nots to be even further pushed apart? In any magical society, there are people who are more powerful than others, and in any magical society, those with the power make free use of those without.
Yes, those who have the power then use that power to oppress other people. The price of unicorn hair goes up. The price of phoenix feathers go up. Only the rich people, the rich wizards, can afford to keep the fantastical beasts that they need for the very rare elements that they use for the high-grade spells. It is basically a way for the upper class of wizards to maintain their privilege and keep the underclass down.
In a world without magic, we're all muggles. In a world with magic, most of us are. And the others rule over us, like the dark wizard, Donald Trump.
Look out for the wand percent.
I'm going to take that as your closing statement.
We've got 2 points to make as our closing statement. One, any society functions, any civilized society functions on a system of welfare. And welfare can work in terms of food or money or even magical ability. Our second point, which may seem ideologically opposed to that, is that they just want to take away our magic.
They want to take away your magic, ladies and gentlemen.
They want to take away your magic, and I think everyone will stand with us when we say that they can take our magic when they pry it from our cold, dead wand hands.
All right, give them both a round of applause. All right, now it's up to you, audience, to decide whether magic would be a benefit or not to society. So, if you think magic would be a benefit, please applaud now. If you think it would not be a benefit, please applaud now. Oh, very close.
Seems pretty neck and neck. I think we'll just... let's try it again.
I think I'm actually going to have to give that one to Positive Selfie Mage.
That's right.
Yeah, all right. That brings us to the end of the show. The final scores, Ben.
By Houdini's photocopier. You have sought the long forbidden knowledge due solely to your own corrupt thirst for power, ignoring at your peril the alignment of the 6 dread portents, the black rose, the fallen bird, the stained child, the no right-hand turn sign, the burnt Lamington, and the soundly defeated Australian cricket team. And now, with your venal corruption, you have doomed mankind to an eternal age of blackest darkness. But on the podcast side of things, Positive Selfie Mage has won the game!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time we have. A big thank you to our behind-the-scenes magicians, Aaron Harrington, Paul Johnson, and Ben Allen for their writing assistance, and our wonderful hosts at Orange Studios, and also a big thank you to you. Give yourselves a round of applause. That is the end of Nerd Degree. Thank you, everyone, and